What's going on, guys? My name is the Afk Obby, and today Old School Runescape just had a system update. They have a changelog for November 30th right now, so let's quickly get into this. I'm going to go into detail about every change, but just in case you're short on time, here's their condensed list. They've added a new quest called the Garden of Death to the game. They've improved quest XP rewards, so XP rewards excluding combat skills from Master and Grandmaster level quests have been improved. Players can retroactively receive this experience by talking to Prifddinas and a handful of other NPCs. Combat Achievements expansion added Combat Achievements for Tombs of Amazca, added further rewards for all tiers of Combat Achievements as per the results of this poll, and the poll is linked. They added Poison Dynamite to the game. Poll 77 changes. Players can now get back to Ape Atoll without accepting Darrow's training after completing Monkey Madness 1. Clue Scroll drop rate boosts earned via Combat Achievements now correctly apply inside the Hallowed Sepulchre and for chests within the Shades of Morton minigame. Iron players can now buy and sell ores at a fixed price from Orden's shop at the Blast Furnace regardless of stock levels. Players can now toggle their default player-owned house teleport to building mode via the Poh Settings menu. Added a setting to the Confirmations category in the Warning Setting tab to disable confirmation for charter ship payments. Charlie the Tramp will now accept items sourced from anywhere. Some other game changes are Prifddinas Agility course portals are now highlighted on the C++ client. Dragon Defenders are now prioritized higher for protection on death. Soul Wars public games now only require 2 players per team to start on Fresh Start Worlds. Players can now light fires near the bank and Nexus Antechamber. Shadow Spiders will no longer drain your prayer if they're not in combat with you. On the Dead Man World, PvP combat is now blocked in Tombs of Amazca raids. On the mobile client, they've released a final hotfix for the black screen issues some players have been experiencing. However, we've deprecated support for OpenGL ES 2.0, meaning devices that don't support OpenGL ES 3 Plus will no longer work with the mobile client. Some behind the scenes stuff. Tomorrow we'll share further news regarding the Make Good incentive from the recent outage. They linked a news post regarding last week's service issues, deployed fixes to improve game stability, US West and Australia server maintenance planned for December 6th, 10:30 to 13:30 GMT, and 1400 to 1700 respectively. US East server maintenance planned for January 2023. Schedule is subject to change. And in case you missed it, the Mysterious Quest Boss Reward and Revenant Weapon poll closed yesterday, November 29th. You can view the results there, it's linked. The Winter Summit takes place at 2000 GMT on December 10th. They're sponsoring EVScape's $15,000 Battle Royal, and check out the trailer linked directly on the news post. I'll have the news post linked in the description below. But let's dive deeper. They said here's the juicy details. The Quest Garden of Death. In our newest twisted tale, you'll piece together a long lost language and unravel the mystery of some ancient ruins. Welcome, adventurer, to the Garden of Death. This quest contains no dialogue and focuses solely on environmental storytelling, so make sure that you set aside some time and prepare to be fully immersed in the world around you. You'll need 20 farming to start the quest, and you can begin your investigation at the campsite south of the Lizardbin settlement in the Kibos lowlands. That looks pretty sweet. Alright, so here's the improved experience rewards for Master and Grandmaster quests. It's not all the questing news they have for us this week, but here's the improved XP rewards. It says that we voted overwhelmingly in support of this, so they don't want to keep us any longer. Here's the full list. I'll be putting things on the screen as I'm talking about them, but make sure you go claim your extra XP if you have any of these finished right away, okay? The quest is Beneath Cursed Sands. It's a master tier. It used to give 20,000 XP in agility, it now gives 50,000 agility XP. Talk to Prifddinas, he can be found in several locations. He should bump that up. The Fremennik Exiles is a master tier. It used to give 15,000 Slayer XP, 15,000 crafting, and 5,000 runecraft XP. It now gives 50,000 Slayer, 50,000 crafting, 30,000 runecraft. Talk to Prifddinas. Grimtales is a quest that's master tier. Used to give 14,000 woodcutting, 6,000 agility, 6,000 thieving, 5,000 herblore, 5,000 HP, and 4,000 farming. The HP is unchanged because it's a combat skill, but it now gives 60,000 woodcutting, 25,000 agility, 25,000 thieving, 15,000 herblore, 5,000 hit points, and 10,000 farming. So again, hit points is not affected. Lengends Quest, master tier, used to give 7,650 XP and 4 skills of choice. It now gives 30,000 XP and 4 skills of choice. Choice is limited to attack, defense, strength, hit points, prayer, magic, woodcutting, crafting, smithing, herblore, agility, and thieving. And to get this XP boost in Lengends Quest, talk to Radamus Urkel in the Legends Guild. Making Friends with My Arm is a quest that is master tier. Used to give 10,000 mining, 10,000 agility, 5,000 fire making, 2,000 construction. Now gives 50,000 mining, 50,000 agility, 40,000 fire making, and 10,000 construction. And to get this bump up with Making Friends with My Arm, talk to Prifddinas, who again can be found in several locations. Monkey Madness 1, quest gives no XP itself, but the XP can be gained post-quest by talking to Darrow. The XP won't be changed as its combat XP. Mournings End Part 1 was a master tier, 25,000 thieving, 25,000 hit points. The hit points are unchanged as it's a combat skill again, but you can get that bump up to 40,000 thieving XP by talking to Prifddinas. Mournings End Part 2 was a master tier, used to give 20,000 agility XP, but you can now talk to Prifddinas and get that bumped up to 60,000. A Night at the Theater is master tier, used to give 3 20,000 XP lamps, but you can get one more by bumping 3 up to 4 by talking to the mysterious stranger outside of the Theater of Blood. Sins of the Father is a master tier quest, used to give 3 15,000 XP tomes, now gives 6 15,000 XP tomes. Talk to Ivan Strom in the Mayerdick Marquee hideout. Have fun getting back there. Yeah, have fun. We have been there before. Swan Song is a master tier quest, giving 15,000 magic XP, 10,000 prayer, 10,000 fishing. No changes to the magic or prayer, but you can't get that bumped up to 50,000 fishing XP by talking to Prifddinas. Dragonslayer 2 is a Grandmaster quest, giving 25,000 smithing XP, 18,000 mining, 15,000 agility, 15,000 thieving. Talk to Prifddinas to get that bumped up to 80,000 smithing, 60,000 mining, 50,000 agility, and 50,000 thieving. Yo, these are kind of cracked, bro. Like, if you got a quest cape and for some reason you ain't maxed, like, you just might be now. Monkey Madness 2 is a Grandmaster quest, giving 25,000 Slayer XP, 20,000 agility, 15,000 thieving, 15,000 hunter. Talk to Prifddinas. Get that bumped up to 80,000 Slayer, 60,000 agility, 50,000 thieving, 50,000 hunter. I can't believe we have an Obby account. Like, I upload my daily Obby every single day, and this XP makes my mouth water. Song of the Elves is a Grandmaster quest, giving 20,000 agility, 20,000 construction, 20,000 farming, 20,000 herblore, 20,000 hunter, 20,000 mining, 20,000 smithing, 20,000 woodcutting. I don't want to say that again. Instead of getting 20,000 and all of that, you're going to be getting double. Get 40,000. Talk to Prifddinas. My Mysterious Quest is a master tier, 16,000 agility, 12,000 thieving, 8,000 hunter. Unreleased, but get 60,000 agility now, 50,000 thieving, and 40,000 hunter. As the table suggests, most of the XP you're owed can be claimed from Prifddinas, although a few other NPCs are also getting in on the game. If for whatever reason you don't want to be showered in XP the next time you speak to Prifddinas, you can politely decline and come back another time. Please do bear in mind that accepting XP from Prifddinas is an all or nothing decision. You won't be able to pick and choose which rewards you get. If you're keeping one of the impacted skills at a specific level, or holding off on getting a 99 until your friends are around, we suggest giving Prifddinas a wide berth until you're ready. On that note, we've opted not to increase combat XP rewards. That's because they don't want to ruin restricted account builds with a single dialogue option, but they don't want people to feel locked out of rewards, so they did that for combat restricted accounts. All of the end of quest XP rewards from dialogue options, tomes, or lamps, you'll have to go to that specific NPC that gave you those options instead of Prifddinas. And they've linked the Osrs wiki entries to all of them, so you can know exactly where you gotta go. Lastly, as per our vote, the XP reward ranges given above are going to be the standard for future Mastered and Grandmaster quests. And it looks like there's a new one coming up soon. Perhaps we'll learn more at the Winter Summit? Question mark? What are you trying to say? Alongside all of that questing goodness, we also voted for additional rewards for combat achievements. In case the blog passed you by, here's a list of everything. For easy, they do 100% bonus warrior tokens from the Warriors Guild, gain 1 additional Void Knight commendation point per game of pest control. The upper limit for boss slayer tasks unlocked with like a boss perk is increased from 35 to 40. For medium, 200% bonus warrior tokens from the Warriors Guild. Note that you'll have to complete both easy and medium tiers for the 200% bonus listed. The same rule applies for any other rewards that increase per tier. Gain 2 additional Void Knight commendation points per game of pest control. No longer affected by the prayer drain effect at barrows when Gommel's Hill is equipped. Your cannon can hold up to 35 cannonballs. The upper limit of boss slayer tasks unlocked with like a boss perk is increased from 35 to 45. For hard, imbues in Nightmare Zone and Soul Wars will cost 50% fewer points. Gain 3 additional Void Knight commendation points per game of pest control. Your cannon can hold up to 45 cannonballs. Kill count required to access the bosses at God War Dungeon is reduced from 40 to 36. The upper limit for boss slayer tasks unlocked with like a boss perk increased from 35 to 50. For elite, Bracelets of Slaughter now have a 10% chance to fully recharge instead of breaking. It's kind of sick. Expeditious Bracelets now have a 10% chance to fully recharge instead of breaking. Superior Slayer monster spawn rate now increased to 1 in 150. Your cannon can now hold up to 60 cannonballs. Kill count required to access bosses at God War's Dungeon is reduced from 40 to 30. The upper limit for boss slayer tasks unlocked with like a boss perk is increased from 35 to 55. For Master, Thralls resurrected via Archaeus spells last 50% longer. Gommel's Hilt 5 can now be combined with the Avernic Defender for a cosmetic upgrade. Kill count required to access bosses at God War's Dungeon is reduced from 40 to 25. The upper limit for boss slayer tasks unlocked with like a boss perk is increased from 35 to 60. Unlocks a new ammo slot item, Gommel's Lucky Penny, which gives a 5% chance to not consume charges from items such as jewelry, offhand equipment, for example Tome of Fire, or when worn with charged weaponry such as the Trident of the Seas or the Scythe of Vitor. Not sure how to pronounce Vitor, forgive me, correct me in the comments below. For Grandmaster, Thralls resurrected via Arceus spellbook lasts 100% longer. Gommel's Hilt 6 can now be combined with the Avernic Defender for a cosmetic upgrade. Kill count required to access the bosses of God Wars dungeon is reduced from 40 to 15. The upper limit for boss slayer tasks unlocked with the Like a Boss perk is increased from 35 to 65. And that's all for that. Speaking of combat achievements, they've added nearly 50 to Tombs of Amescot. That's crazy. They're not going through them in this news post, but they tell you to check them out in-game after the update. You'll notice they've been added under 3 new monsters: Entry Mode, Normal Mode, and Expert Mode. Completing a challenge at a higher difficulty than specified should unlock the relevant combat achievement regardless, so if you complete 50 Expert Mode kill count, it'll count towards the Entry and Normal Mode kill count achievements too. They're excited to see you get stuck into Tombs of Amescot all over again, and hope we have loads of fun challenging ourselves with this new batch of combat achievements. Are you guys excited for that? I've never played. It doesn't affect me, but I always like, content being added to. It's pretty sweet. Most of us are already familiar with Poison Dynamite, which we first offered in Poh 76. For those of you who aren't, Poison Dynamite is a new weapon which lets skilling purists secure kills without gaining combat XP. Players can now use their fire making skill at level 50 or above to craft untradeable Poison Dynamite from 1 Dynamite and 3 Cave Nightshade. Once assembled, simply place the Poison Dynamite on the ground and light it as you would a pile of logs to deal damage in a 3x3 area. For a more precise attack, you can also stick the Poison Dynamite to your target by using it on them. Using the Poison Dynamite in either fashion will net you a bit of fire making experience. After 5 ticks or 3 seconds, the Poison Dynamite will explode, dealing between 0 to 6 damage. This scales with your fire making level. If the explosion hits, there's also a 25% chance to poison the target. Poison damage begins at 6. The Dynamite's damage roll is based on your selected combat stance, so enemies weak to range are more likely to be damaged from the explosion if you're holding a bow instead of a scimitar. Scimitar. You guys corrected me on that one time. What is it? Scimitar. Scimitar. We'll go with scimitar. The damage type is the same as your currently equipped weapon too, so if you're attacking an enemy that's immune to a certain damage type, watch what you're wielding. You can only deploy 1 piece of Poison Dynamite at a time, obviously, and only 1 Poison Dynamite can be active on any given square. That means that multiple accounts are unable to stack their explosion on the same square. Additionally, you'll only be able to hit a single target even if a 3x3 explosion is in range of several NPCs. One final thing, the Tsar have forbidden the lighting of Poison Dynamite within the fight caves. Scorching hot volcanic undercities are not the kind of place you want to leave this stuff laying around. And besides, it sets off Jad's allergies. Imagine just sneezing. I don't know why that's so funny. Here's some behind the scenes stuff, okay? We'd like to thank everyone for the patience following last week's server outage. The team is still committed to delivering our Make Good plan. We'll have more news to share tomorrow. Keep your eye on the news post above for updates. Okay, so for the mobile client, their Ace mobile team have figured out a solution for the black screen issues players have been experiencing on mobile platforms. They go on to say that they are deprecating the support for OpenGL ES 2.0, which we went over. If your device is not supported, you'll see the black screen for around 5 to 10 seconds before the game crashes. If your device is supported and you're still experiencing black screen issues or any other problems, please do send us a report. Poh 77 changes. Players who have completed Monkey Madness 1 may now return to 8 Atoll to complete Monkey Madness 2 without accepting Darrow's training. They will have to complete both Duke and Darrow's training in order to use Heavy Ballista. Please also note that Culinary gloves beyond Mithril tier have their own defense requirements, so 1 defense accounts will still be unable to use the Adamant gloves. Clue Scroll drop rate boosts earned from combat achievements will now apply to the Hollow Sepulchre and Chest in the Shades of Morton minigame. Iron players may now buy and sell ores at a fixed price from Orden's shop even while it's overstocked. However, they'll pay a static price for this rather than getting the discounts that a non-iron player would for buying an overstocked item. Additionally, Orden's shop now resets its contents toward the default stock 100 faster than before. Players can now set their default player-owned house teleport to building mode from the POH settings. All the usual restrictions still apply, meaning this option won't work if they are already guests inside the POH or if the player has a follower. Players can now disable the confirmation message for the chartership payments. To do so, open up the settings menu, navigate to warnings, and scroll down to confirmations where you'll find the new toggle. Charlie the Tramp has embraced the phrase beggars can't be choosers and will now allow players to bring him requested items acquired by any means. This means that players doing beginner clue scrolls can fetch his favorite items direct from their own bank by trading players or buying from in-game shops instead of having to craft the items themselves. Well, we have an iron now, so don't really help us. Some other changes is portals on the Prifddinas Agility course are now highlighted like any other obstacle for players using the C++ client. Dragon Defenders were unusually easy to lose on death, considering how long they can take to reobtain. We've bumped up their values and now they're prioritized higher for death protection purposes. Of course, there's always an alternative solution, just don't die. But we know how that works on Reddit. Yeah. Players can now light fires near the bank and Nexus Antechamber. This should give Ultimate Iron Man players an opportunity to rustle up some scran and extend their trips to this exciting locale. Shadow Spiders will no longer drain the prayer points of innocent bystanders and will instead only use this ability on players they are in direct combat with. You will now get full XP from helping your throne of miscellaneous citizens with mining, fishing, and woodcutting. You can now toggle off the confirmation screen, which appears upon paying to protect your crops. Fresh Start World players can now start public Soul Wars lobbies with just 2 players per team as opposed to the usual 10 per team. PvP combat is now blocked in Tombs of Amiskal and Deadman Worlds as it is for the other raids. There's enough danger in the tombs without your friends turning on you. The RuneFest 2014 and 2017 plus the Premier Club 2018 Cosmetic Rewards are now unlocked by default for anyone on all world types. In case we missed it, this year's Winter Summit is a little over 2 weeks away and will take place at 2000 GMT on December 10th. It's the place to be for news about everything coming up in 2023, so don't miss out. Also, don't forget, if you tune in a little earlier, you can catch Eevescape's Battle Royale, where your favorite content creators face off for their chunk of a $15,000 prize pool. Get yourself in the competitive mood and check out this epic cinematic trailer by Golden Gnome winner Hootie Tootie. Go check that out, guys. And if that wasn't thrilling enough, check out Soup's YouTube channel where you can find the first episode of Season 3 of the Gielinor games. This is without a doubt the most important sporting event going on in the world right now, so do give it a look. Yeah, not the World Cup. It's Soup's channel where you can find the first episode of Season 3, Gielinor games. You heard it here first. An update on the Wilderness Boss rework. Originally, we planned for this section to tease the Wilderness Boss rework scheduled for next week's game update. Unfortunately, yesterday they made the difficult decision to delay the release until January 2023. It goes on to say that in the late stages, they discovered a number of significant issues that must be fixed before the content can launch. That a lot of members are taking holiday to spend time with their family members, and that they apologize for anyone who is anticipating the update. They hope you understand, and that they just wanted to meet the standards instead of rush into a release that falls short. What you can find next week in Old School RuneScape. With the unfortunate news above, next week's update may not be as hefty as they imagined, but they want to commit to giving you a small taste of what's to come, so we're not caught off guard and have some time to get excited about upcoming events. This game update and the one before brought a large chunk of the Poh 77 changes, but if we were waiting on something in particular, it's likely that we'll see additional Poh 77 changes making their way to us next week. On top of that, those who enjoy Mauritania and going fast can look forward to a Taste of Hope and Sense of Father coming to the Quest speedrunning worlds, as well as a couple other quests that are entering the batch and going into the beta so that they can fine-tune the completion times. Then they go on to show some merch. And then they show the PvP world rotations, which I will show here. And that's all. Wow. It feels like a lot of updates. And a lot of big ones. But if you're still here, I already edited and posted my daily Obby video for the day, so this is my second video today. It's a big one. If you enjoyed it, I do a lot of Reddit or news post videos on my channel, so please feel free to like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel. Again, I upload every single day at 8 AM Eastern Standard Time, a daily Obby. Alongside that, if you go to my channel, click on the community tab, you'll see a poll or trivia in correlation to Old School RuneScape. Feel free to scroll down and take whatever poll or trivia you'd like. Participating and liking the polls are anonymous, same with the trivias, but commenting on them both is not. Thank you so much for watching. My name is the Afk Obby. I hope you have an absolutely amazing day, and I will see you guys tomorrow.